Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we've got a major update to discuss. Juju Brents might miss the entire season due to an injury. He's been placed on injured reserve, and in response the Colts signed Chris Lamons to the active roster. Along with him, David Long Jr., Kelvin Joseph, and Ronnie Harrison have joined the squad. Two of them on the practice squad. But they're all set to make an impact, possibly as early as Sunday against the Packers. Now let's talk about these guys. Long Jr., Joseph, Lamons, they're solid, but honestly, I don't think they elevate the Colts' defense as much as we need. It's worrying, especially in a conference like the AFC, which is stacked with elite quarterbacks. You could argue it's never been stronger quarterback-wise. Week 1, the secondary didn't play badly. In fact, they did well. But without Brents, things are looking shaky. Moving forward, the Colts face the Packers in Week 2, and good news, Jordan Love won't be playing. Without him, we should be able to manage, but Malik Willis is still going to make it a competitive game. Week 1, we lost to the Texans, one of the NFL's best teams, by only 2 points. Honestly, the Colts made some mistakes that cost them the game, so if we clean that up, we should be able to handle the Packers. What makes this matchup tricky is playing at Lambeau. It's going to be loud, and the Colts are still working out some kinks. Anthony Richardson, our quarterback, played 2 preseason games, though I barely remember the second one. He looked fantastic in Week 1, showing no signs of his previous injury. That 62-yard pass to Alec Pierce, unreal. It was one of the longest air throws in recent history, and Richardson proved he's got what it takes: strength, confidence, the whole package. The big issue, though, no run game. We couldn't run the ball against the Texans, which put us in tough third-down situations. Thankfully, we managed to convert many of those, but if we want to win consistently, we need to establish the run and get the quick passing game going. Richardson's deep ball is great, but mastering those shorter passes is key. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. So here's the thing, guys. Teams like the Texans and Chiefs thrive on quick passes. They get the ball out in under 2.7 seconds, hit their targets, and keep the offense moving. If the Colts can master that quick-release style, things will start clicking. Jonathan Taylor, JT, will get back on track too. Week 1 was rough for him. He rushed for only 48 yards on 16 carries, but I don't think we'll see that kind of performance from him again this season. We can chalk that up to a bad game, learn from it, and move forward. We should actually feel good about how the Colts played in Week 1. The Texans are a top-tier team, and we held our own against them. Sure, we lost by 2 points, but we competed with a team that's playoff ready. And remember, they were missing key players like Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, and Danielle Hunter last time we saw them. This time, they were at full strength, and we still fought hard. The fact that our guys were upset about losing shows the winning culture is there. Now, it's just about putting it all together and actually winning games. It's next man up, especially with Juju Brents out. Chris Ballard, our GM, didn't make many big signings, even though some veteran players were available. There were guys like Leroy Sneed and Justin Simmons on the market, but Ballard seems set on sticking with what we have. If the Colts miss the playoffs this year, I can't say for sure what will happen to Ballard, but it's fair to wonder when enough is enough. Since Andrew Luck retired, we've made the playoffs just once, and a lot of that falls on Ballard not filling key positions, like the offensive line or the secondary. Without Brents, things are a bit shaky, but I'm hoping some practice squad guys step up. As for this week's game against the Packers, I'm really looking forward to it. Greg Olsen is calling the game, and he's quickly becoming one of my favorite announcers. I caught the Eagles-Packers game, and honestly, the Packers didn't look that impressive. They couldn't stop the run. Saquon Barkley went off against them, so I think Jonathan Taylor has a real shot to dominate. Defensively, the Colts need to focus on shutting down the Packers' run game and forcing them into third and long situations, just like what happened to us in Week 1. If we can make Malik Willis throw under pressure, we'll be in a good spot. Willis doesn't have the arm talent of Anthony Richardson, so we can take advantage of that. He's not going to make those jaw-dropping throws like Richardson can. The key for the Colts is simple: control the game. We don't need to blow the Packers out. We just need to get the win, stay healthy, and move on to Week 3 against the Bears. Of course, I'd love to see us score some touchdowns, run the ball effectively, and keep the Packers' offense in check. It would be pretty embarrassing to give up too many points to Malik Willis, especially with tougher teams like the Bears, Steelers, and Jaguars coming up. All we have to do is handle our business and keep building. So let's talk about the competition. In Week 1, the Steelers didn't score a touchdown, the Bears didn't get an offensive touchdown, and the Jaguars looked pretty shaky. Now, none of these teams are powerhouses, but they're all capable of beating the Colts if we're not careful. That's why the Packers game is so important. It's a must-win for us. We can't afford to lose to Malik Willis, especially after starting 0-1. We don't want to go 0-2, especially if the Texans win their game against the Bears and go 2-0. That would put us in a tough spot early in the season. Here's the thing. This Colts team is the most talented we've had since 2018, about 6 years ago. It's all going to come down to Anthony Richardson. A lot of people say that how he plays will determine how far we can go, and after seeing him in Week 1, I'm feeling optimistic. He played well, but there were definitely things that need fixing. Our run defense struggled, and we couldn't get the run game going offensively. Still, our pass protection was solid, the defensive front held up, the secondary looked good, and our receivers were making plays. Alec Pierce looked like a star out there, creating tons of separation. Michael Pittman had a quieter game, but you know he'll bounce back. And, of course, that unfortunate pick that came off Colin Granson's fingertips. That was just a bad break. There will always be things to improve, but the key takeaway is that we've got a future superstar in Anthony Richardson. Our defensive front is dominant, and if our biggest concerns are Jonathan Taylor having a quiet game and giving up too many third and longs, we're in a good place. The great news is that we've got Shane Steichen as our head coach, and he's one of the smartest minds in football. He'll get us back on track. Honestly, after the loss, I was bummed for about 20 minutes, but then I realized we're going to make some serious noise this season. You could even tell the Texans know we're legit, and they don't want to face us again, because they know we're going to give them everything we've got. So yeah, we'll see how things go moving forward, but I'm feeling good about this team. Let's get that win against the Packers and keep building. Peace.